In today's video, I want to talk about how you can best answer the interview question, tell me about a time where you surpassed expectations. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, the first thing you need to understand is why they're asking this question. And the reason why they're asking this is because they want to know whether you are going to be someone who consistently exceeds expectations, which means you're a high performer and that you are dedicated to your work. And so what you really need to find is examples where you add value, where you show dedication, and where you go the extra mile, where you exceed expectations. So that's something you definitely want to keep in mind. Now, the second step you need to do is to find the right example. And my recommendation for this one is to find an example where something's gone bad. Because if things have gone bad, this is really an opportunity for you to step up and show that you can go the extra mile to turn things around. And that would typically be a good example to show that, hey, expectations were low already because things are going bad, but you were able to turn things around. And that's really an opportunity for you to shine. So typically, I think those would be good examples where you can really highlight this. And if not, if there's a regular situation and you're able to exceed it, that's cool too. However, it's generally easier to find examples where things are going bad and then you turn things around. In addition to that, you probably want to find an example that's relevant to the role. So while there may be tons of examples of exceeding expectations in the past, what you want to do is find an example that is relevant to either the experience or the skills related to the role that you're applying. And that way, interviewers can make a more direct connection to how your experience is relevant to the role. And another tip for this is to strike a good balance between being humble but also confident, right? And you don't want to come across as overly cocky, but at the same time, you don't want to undersell yourself for the value that you bring. So this is also a precarious balancing act that you need to strike. Now, the next step you need to take is to deliver your answer through the STAR format, which is situation, task, action, result. I've talked about in the past, and I'll put in the video above. But basically, find that example and frame it in a STAR format. And typically what I recommend for everyone is to go through a list of most common questions and create a stories jukebox where you can pull from so that you can structure your answers for every one of these. If it's a virtual interview, even better. You can put that sheet in front of you so that you could basically answer on the fly with the whole structure in front of you. So this is something I would highly recommend people to do if they are able to create a list of questions and prepare your answers accordingly, pretty much all of them using the STAR format, at least all the behavioral questions. Now, the fourth thing you need to do is to highlight certain skills. And these are several skills I would highly recommend. Number one, you want to highlight being proactive, right? So if they want to make sure that you're exceeding expectations, you want to show that I am proactive in exceeding these expectations. So definitely you want to highlight this as a key characteristic of your story. The second thing that you probably want to highlight is innovation and creativity. How did you change the process so that you achieved the result faster, better, and essentially exceeded expectations by doing so? So innovation and creativity would be two things that you really want to highlight in this case as well. The third thing is you want to highlight the impact that you delivered to the business. So not just yourself, but focus on the business. What was the impact? What were the numbers? And also you want to highlight the recognition. Because you surpass expectations, you need to back it up with some examples. And so if the manager praised you, or if your team praised you, or if other stakeholders praise you and say, hey, this was really helpful, this was really good, thank you for doing this exceeded our expectations, then that's something that you want to show, some kind of validation externally. And so these three characteristics in your story, you definitely need to bring to the forefront to effectively answer this question. The fifth thing you need to be aware of are the common mistakes that people make while answering this question. The first common mistake is being vague, not being specific enough and not digging deep enough into how you turn things around. You only talked about, hey, this was the result and I exceeded expectations. How did you do it? How did you bake the pie? How was that pie better than others? So you definitely want to elevate your answer by giving it some specificity. The second common mistake that people make is focusing on me, right? How I did it, how I thought of this new idea, how I executed it. What you want to do is focus on the team, focus on other stakeholders, and how we did it together. Because at the end of the day, they want to know that you are not just a solo superstar. You can bring other people with you. You can lead other people into this process, or at least you can facilitate this whole process of achieving it. So don't focus only on me, focus on we. And the third and final thing is do not skip the context, because you want to really paint a bad situation or at least help them understand the problem and how you surpass expectations. If they don't even understand the problem, how do they know whether you've surpassed expectations or not? It's like, oh, well, this is just your responsibility. You want to paint it as bad as possible so that you can show how you turn things around. And that's it. Hope this video was helpful to you. Don't forget to practice, practice, practice so that you can deliver this answer with conviction. If you have any thoughts about what I said, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give a like, share, follow, subscribe wherever you are. Hope you have a good one and take care.